Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot for giving this opportunity and speaking in front of this august presence here. First of all, sir, I would actually like to compliment you on the kind of work that you have showcased here right now in case of Shimla as a city and the Sevottam approach that you have said. And as Dr. Bajaj was saying, that ICT and capacity building and change management actually need to go hand in hand. We are at such a situation right now where we cannot shirk away from ICT. It is the way to go forward. It is the way that things will go ahead and change. But we also need to appreciate the fact that as of now, around 70 to 80% of people who are actually in the administrative seats have to be have to be sensitized on the usage of ICT and how ICT can help them improve the processes, help them deliver the services that needs to be given to different citizens properly. So I think, sir, that Sevottam approach will go, in a long way, and I'm pretty hopeful that this would be the way forward for taking up the change management prospects in other departments also. Best of luck for future perspective. I have a pretty big slide, but most of the things were already spoken about from a change management perspective. I'll try to skip most of those things, and I would like to start my presentation by quoting two people who have been centuries apart but are practically saying the same thing. Chanakya said that in the happiness of his subjects lies the king's happiness. He is talking about the people, the normal people who reside in a kingdom. Centuries later, the same words were uttered in a total different context by the father of the nation, Mahatma Gandhi, who said that after attaining Swaraj, we need to aim for Suraj, which is good governance. And good governance is something, as somebody also was pointing out in the morning session itself, is something that needs to be incorporated into the whole administrative effort, so as to give better services to the citizens per se. And the most important thing of getting into this particular good governance is the change management and the capacity building that is required on this thing. So what is this particular need of capacity building? We have a lot of projects, ICT projects, which go on. They are launched with a lot of fanfare per se, but then they die their death. They die their slow deaths per se. Not most of them don't even see the light of the day and are not there per se. Basically, if you start off with a small thing, and when you try to improve and increase the scope of the things, more and more troubles and more problems and more challenges come to you. And that is where the change management and the challenges that are required for that particular management to be met increases with the increase of the citizen services and the penetration of these particular citizen services as we go ahead. So, for example, and again going back to the Shimla model, if we have started this particular good thing in Shimla right now, going forward and taking the whole state of Himachal Pradesh would be a bigger challenge to take care of. We have made a good start of this particular thing, and change management will become an important aspect there if we go for the complete state and try to improve the kind of services that the citizens of complete state of Himachal Pradesh needs to be taken care of. So change management actually is basis of three layers, if I may say so. You have the individual, you have the organization, be it any government department or anything, and then you have the community as a whole. As you increase the scope of this particular change management, the challenges increase and they become more and more complicated. There are specific building blocks for this particular capacity building. You have the change management, where you have to have the administrative approvals. You have to focus on communication with the administration through different kinds of workshops, sensitizing them about what exactly is going to happen, how the processes are going to there. You need to have the financial management perspective brought into the picture, where you can have the financial viability also of this particular thing. You can have n number of budgets and n number of amount that can go into this particular whole exercise. But until unless that particular money is utilized to the point and effectively, it all goes down the drain, and it's finally our money which we are giving it to the government. Program management, where we have to have a project-oriented approach, as to what exactly are the timelines, what are the milestones that we need to take, what is the roles and responsibilities of different people, what is the accountability of these particular people, and how we need to take them forward. And finally, the technology, which is just one another block of this whole capacity building, as to what exactly are those particular technological components that we are going to use, whether they are interoperable, whether they can talk to different kinds of other systems that are already there. Are they standard based? Is it proprietary, non-proprietary? Is it scalable? If I do it in one particular department, will it be scalable to n number of departments? So these are certain questions that we need to actually answer before we go ahead and do what exactly, in a complete framework for a capacity building. The elements are basically, four key elements which are there in the capacity building program. You have to have the leadership and vision. And that is where I have kept the first point in there is hard decisions. Hard decisions have to be taken. They have to be taken from a government's perspective of coming up with who is going to run this particular thing. There has to be a vision, there has to be an accountability, there has to be a responsibility from all levels, specifically from the top management of the government. The chairmen, the commissioners of urban local bodies have to take care of these particular hard decisions of in lieu of bringing in more services to the citizen. You have to have the policy formulations, the community and the resources which are available. Then once these particular decisions have been taken and the framework has been defined, roles and responsibilities have been given, you do a program development and develop that particular program, take it through a management exercise, continuously monitor that particular thing, and finally come out with the project management where one of our friends had said about SLAs and quality management and core skills of the people that need to be brought in. So looking at the present scenarios in urban local bodies, you need solutions which are actually independent or can become as much independent as possible of the people who are there, who are working there. I don't say people as a resource is not important, they are very important. But we need to come up to a fact that tomorrow, because of the aging population, tomorrow these particular people would be replaced by a newer generation who would be more attuned to ICT technologies per se. So we need, but they are not experienced. Experience is with the present crop of people. They are not experienced, but we need to have that particular correct fusion of experience and the ICT technology knowledge between different people, and we should try to keep these processes as independent of people as possible. And that is where, the actual empowerment of the government as well as the citizen will take care of. Having said this, government has always been a good user of Oracle technology per se. And over the years, they have been utilizing different kinds of technologies and different kinds of computers from, to help them do their own processing, whether it be salaries or be it, citizen services, etc. But what we are seeing today is a place where you can go ahead, go to online, download certain forms, fill up those particular forms, but what it results actually is still the same lines and still the same people who would be working manually on those particular things. There is, the stage that we are here in India is that we have all these beautiful forms, etc. on the website, people download them, but to submit those particular forms, I still need to go and get into those particular lines. I still need to, struggle my way towards different, different departments to take if any grievances my grievance has been addressed properly or not. I don't know. So there is a wall which is what we call as e-government per se. So this e-government wall actually is a kind of, let us say, a kind of hurdle that needs to be taken up, and it has to be broken down so that an actual empowerment of the government and people happens. So there are a lot of issues with e-government. You have a lot of different technologies, you have different legacy systems, lot of systems which are working in isolations, because that is where we have come in from. That is how we are evolving. We say that I need this particular thing to be automated as of now. I'm thinking in silo, and I take it through, the complete end of that particular thing. But I don't know tomorrow this particular information or the ICT intervention that I'm having needs to integrate and interact with a lot of other different systems also in this particular thing. So there are a lot of issues per se in this e-government, and what we are proposing right now here is, to take this particular e-government, the E out of this particular government, and change it to what we call as an I-government. So I-government actually is based on modernized IT infrastructure, which increases the efficiency and transparency to transform the government service strategy, government service delivery. Basically, what we are saying here is, let's take the E out of this e-governance and e-government. Let's talk about I in E. There has been a lot of E which has been going on for past 15-20 years in India, and it's time now that we should leave out this E out of this and let's come up with I on this. So what exactly are these three things which form this particular I? So if you want to modernize your IT infrastructure, basically it should support your open standards. Basically take care of new technologies like grid computing, etc., which can actually do a lot of things very fast. Migrate to service-oriented architecture per se, and ensure security and control access, which is very important from a citizen's data perspective. Increase efficiency and transparency by delivering shared services across the board. Streamline different business processes, be it starting from your planning, budgeting, tax, revenues, procurement, whatever. And assure complete governance, risk, and compliance to all the government officials, which results in actually you're transforming to your government service delivery to per se, which will have a complete client-centric, citizen-centric delivery platform, which can have different kinds of channels, be it portals or phones or PDAs, or even a normal walk-in from kiosks, which has the CSE schemes, the Common Citizen Center schemes, which are coming up. Just go there and you are able to get those particular services whatsoever they want to do. So in the end, I would like to leave out with the thought to the present gentry here is that I-government should be a system or an ICT intervention which should be innovative, integrated, intelligent. Of course, change management is an important aspect of this whole particular exercise, and an innovative integrated system will only help in making this particular change management brought to the masses as well as to the government officials. Thank you.
Thank you, Lokesh. That was a very nice presentation. And just to sum up what we are saying today, like when we want to talk of IT, we do not limit ourselves only to making software and selling them. It's more to it. It's only, I think, 15% of the whole thing. The rest 20% is basically capacity building and business process re-engineering. That is very important to manage change along with creation of software, so that the actual beneficiary, the person who's actually wanting to take that service, he can benefit out of it. So whenever when we want to start thinking about solutions, we need to change our whole mindset from this thing. Enough softwares, as you have said, have been made now, and it's not we can't limit ourselves to that aspect only. We have to think beyond also. I think we have some new guests over here. If they can just introduce themselves, and we can also have some questions. आप अभी आए? Okay. And I think you have also just joined us?
Yeah, I'm Ranjit Tirtha from the School of Planning and Architecture.
Welcome. So, do we have any questions from Lokesh? Anybody who wants to say, or any comments? Yes, please, बताइए.
So, Lokesh, you talked about change management, but are we saying change management is same as capacity building? I'm a little confused. What does the term capacity building mean, correct? Versus change management. Change management we know is awareness. When we implement a ERP system, how do we manage change? But capacity building is supposed to be different, correct? Is there a difference between the two or are they same?
I'll put it. I'm sorry. Can you hear me?
Yes, you can.
Yeah, it's on. Yeah, thanks. So I'll put it this way. See, change management and capacity building are definitely, if you look at the perspective of these both terms, they are a bit different, yes, but they go both hand in hand. So capacity building is something that if you look at a systems perspective, then capacity building would be something which would be, let me put it this way, that how fast and how quickly that particular system can be adopted by different people. And change management would be something which would be part of your overall capacity building exercise, which will help you in doing the strategizing of how this particular system needs to be taken forward up. In the sense, if I can put an example on this particular thing, that if in an urban local body you would like to do some kind of implementation for citizen services per se, then change management would be more from a perspective of what is the process that I'm defining right now, what is that I am right now following, and how this particular process can become faster, how can I improve this particular process, which will take into consideration the different kinds of things which would be taken into doing the implementation of that particular services. Now, the capacity building, once I've decided that this particular process needs to be implemented or this particular process needs to be automated, capacity building would be, once the process has been implemented and ICT intervention has come in, how to take it to masses. So you can start off with, let's say, a pilot, let's say a typical a ward or a district in a particular ULB, and then take it up to the complete city. So I would say this thing, and this is a constant iterative process. You will, once you, as I had said up earlier in the presentation also, once you increase the scope of your work from a particular small to big bang kind of thing, you will definitely get more and more challenges and more issues, which will in turn help you do another round of change management. Maybe you will need to change your processes. Maybe you will need to, have a relook at the different kinds of setups that you have done and the SLAs and the quality assurances that are there. So in the end, it's basically, and then you will need to change the system accordingly. So the system should be, scalable enough. It should be, it should be open enough to incorporate those particular changes which might come through those change management. So you start off with change management, do a complete capacity building, because change management becomes part of capacity building, and then it's an iterative process. I hope I was able to clarify.